The celebrities are gossiping about drama amid Baldoni, right? They did this publicity stunt last night where they went on SNL and Ryan Reynolds made this silly joke, this really silly joke.
They know that they've completely lost.
Blake Lively and Ryan Reynolds, once the most beloved duo in Hollywood, are now facing the ultimate backlash. Their carefully crafted image as the relatable, wholesome couple has come crashing down, and Hollywood has turned its back on them. Studios are pulling away, endorsement deals are vanishing, and even their closest A-list friends are distancing themselves. But how did it all go so wrong? From messy lawsuits to tone-deaf jokes, Blake and Ryan's empire is crumbling faster than anyone could have imagined.
I'd say the majority of people I'm reading are not okay that he went and joked about such a serious thing.
And there's a hypocrisy and a fraudulence there that the public is picking up on. They weren't the first to do this. It was Blake Lively, it was Ryan Reynolds, this was their strategy, and now they kind of want to put the genie back in the bottle. But guess what? The genie does not want to go back in the bottle. The genie likes to be free, okay? And we're now all paying
This
attention.
isn't just another celebrity scandal. It's one of the most dramatic career collapses in recent memory. Let's dive into the controversies, the backlash, and the shocking events that led to their downfall. And trust me, this story only gets more unbelievable from here.
Well, Ryan Reynolds on the Enneagram is a psycho. That's what he is, just a psycho. His number is psycho. Get it? He's just being his funny Deadpool self, guys. So ironic, and it's so funny. He's like mocking the situation. And I do want to point out the homie Kevin Costner behind
Blake
him.
Lively and Ryan Reynolds were once untouchable in Hollywood. They had it all: blockbuster movies, lucrative endorsement deals, and a fan base that adored their witty banter and picture-perfect family life. But now, they're being labeled as manipulative frauds who played everyone for fools.
And there were other people as well who didn't find it to be entertaining and were just sort of like, okay. And you could see that they didn't want to be inserted into, I guess, what you could now refer to his various Deadpool scenes.
Sources with direct knowledge tell TMZ lots of the stars who attended the events on Sunday were confused as to why Blake and Ryan appeared on the show while they battled it out in court surrounding the movie.
According to insiders, their recent scandals have made them toxic in the industry. Studios are quietly cutting ties, endorsement deals are disappearing overnight, and even their closest celebrity friends are ghosting them. The backlash is relentless, with hashtags like Cancel Lively Reynolds trending on social media.
I told them that I wasn't in the best place. I told them that I was exhausted, that I haven't given myself time to recover.
Blake sensed she had a hit on her hands. And as soon as that happened, she took over. Complete control of that movie, brought in A-list producer, everybody else, and steamrolled the entire production.
For years, Blake and Ryan mastered the art of PR perfection. Blake was the wholesome actress who baked cookies and lived the Pinterest dream, while Ryan was the funny guy who didn't take himself or Hollywood too seriously. But behind the scenes, it seems they were just another problematic couple who thought they were untouchable. And as you'll see next, their downfall started with one major controversy.
She doesn't have a Deadpool. She kind of lost it and had to be meticulously controlling every piece of the movie, which was not her place to do.
You can just see he is not pleased. He just doesn't find it to be funny. He seems to be trying to look to see if he can catch Blake's face there. And he just didn't find it funny. He did not break character once. He just was like, okay. And there were other people as well who didn't find it to be
Blake and Ryan's public personas were built on relatability. Fans loved Blake for her down-to-earth charm and perfect mom energy, while Ryan's quick wit and self-deprecating humor made him a social media favorite. Together, they seemed like Hollywood's most lovable power couple.
He just wins for his sincerity, his ability to connect with people, regular people outside of the Hollywood bubble, women, many women who have actually survived sexual abuse, sexual harassment, whatever it is.
I think this was weird. I think this is weird to have Ryan Reynolds there, specifically when his ex's husband also
That's another thing,
is on that show. Also, to note that yes, they've hosted before in 2009 and a couple other times.
Hijacked the movie, threatened everybody, got involved, over-exaggerated complaints. And then when the movie was a hit, but she wasn't seen as a hit, she was seen as the problem, that's when everything...
But cracks began to show when their actions didn't align with their image. Instead of owning up to controversies, they doubled down on charm and sarcasm, thinking it would be enough to deflect criticism. Fans began to notice a pattern. Every time they faced backlash, they relied on humor or carefully curated PR moves to avoid accountability.
Blake has also claimed Justin SH'd her while on the movie set. One source who was at 30 Rock for the taping tells us Blake and Ryan were the talk of the entire evening, and many people avoided them.
The celebrities are gossiping about drama amid Baldoni.
Asking why Blake Lively and Ryan Reynolds were even there.
They did this publicity stunt last night where they went on SNL and Ryan Reynolds made this silly joke, this really silly
The public
joke.
isn't buying it anymore. What once felt authentic now seems calculated, and people are calling them out for it. But things really started unraveling during one specific project.
How's it going?
Great. Why? What have you heard?
She doesn't have a Deadpool. She kind of lost it and had to be meticulously controlling every piece of the
Released in
movie.
August 2024, It Ends With Us was supposed to be a career highlight for Blake Lively and Justin Baldoni. The film grossed $351 million worldwide on a $25 million budget, a massive success by any standard. But instead of celebrating its achievements, the movie became synonymous with one of Hollywood's messiest legal battles.
I'm unaware of anybody, frankly, whose wife has been sexually
SH'd.
harassed and has made jokes about that type of situation.
He's spot on and wisely calling it out for what it is. And apparently now comfortable doing some more interviews, given that, Blake and Ryan are out there on one of the biggest stages, addressing, sort of alluding to it when they're trying to tell everyone to stop talking or stop defending themselves. They're allowed to go out on the red carpet and play like their brand is
Blake
fine.
accused Baldoni of harassment and creating a hostile work environment during production. She claimed he made inappropriate comments and advances. But these accusations only surfaced after she allegedly tried to take control of the film's production. Insiders say Blake pushed Baldoni aside once the movie became a hit, filing her complaint just before the holidays for maximum media coverage. Baldoni wasn't about to let this slide, and his response was explosive, and what he did next changed everything.
Confused as to why Blake and Ryan appeared at the show while they battle it out in court with Baldoni over drama surrounding the movie It Ends With Us. Right.
People were sort of just noticing that Blake Lively was not the nicest person.
Somebody in Blake Lively's camp was shopping around what they claimed to be HR complaints to various tabloids and publications, namely TMZ, Daily Mail, and the New
Justin
York
Baldoni fought back with a $400 million defamation lawsuit against Blake Lively, Ryan Reynolds, and their entire PR team. He accused them of orchestrating a smear campaign to destroy his reputation and career.
It would have been wiser for them to take the mediation route to settle, okay? To say, we cannot win this. But I can tell you that that's not exactly a planned route of escape for them anymore at this moment.
So there was mediation, there was an idea of mediation, and both sides, your side and Blake's, shot it down. No one wanted, were you open to mediating this? And the other side said no, because I don't understand why this could and should end, but it has to be that.
Baldoni's legal team released damning evidence that contradicted Blake's claims of harassment. Text messages and behind-the-scenes footage painted a very different picture. One where Blake appeared comfortable joking around with Baldoni during filming. This evidence forced many fans to question whether her allegations were genuine or part of a calculated power move. The lawsuit sent shockwaves through Hollywood, and things only got worse from there, because then Ryan decided to make things even messier.
And there's a lot of question and confusion and frustration due to what your wife's behavior was. The way your wife took over that movie was shameful. And never because he's a harasser. No, everything I'm gathering, the truth of this story, it seems to be Blake sensed she had a hit on her hands. But they didn't. They showed up to try to make light, to sort of poke fun and seem likable and see everything's cool, guys, right? No, that's why they attended. And everyone's still in shock over it, myself
In
included.
February 2025, during Saturday Night Live's 50th anniversary special, Ryan Reynolds thought it would be a good idea to joke about the lawsuit on national television. He made light of the allegations against his wife and mocked Baldoni in front of millions of viewers. The reaction? A complete disaster.
this is your first appearance to go out and about after all the drama to show up on Scarlett Johansson's husband's show. Colin Jost, her husband, a big deal, big head writer over at Saturday Night Live. Or anybody who had the guts to say, sit down, dragon, just something just kicked it up a notch to actually be, the Saturday Night Live we'd expect it to be. But no, it was very safe and it was very...
The audience wasn't laughing, and neither was Hollywood. Insiders say even some of Ryan's closest friends looked uncomfortable during his performance. Critics called it tone-deaf and disrespectful, accusing him of trivializing serious allegations for cheap laughs. And if you thought that was bad, wait until you hear what happened next.
I don't think anybody who's been accused of heinous, arguably what are crimes, is on vacation.
But now they're out there celebrating, making jokes, making light of it, which Justin Baldoni's legal team could absolutely use against them in Justin's
Once
defense.
adored by fans worldwide, Blake Lively and Ryan Reynolds are now facing relentless criticism online. Hashtags like Cancel Lively Reynolds began trending as people called them out for their arrogance and lack of accountability.
I'm unaware of anybody, frankly, whose wife has been sexually harassed and has made jokes about that type of situation.
Social media users flooded platforms with memes mocking their fall from grace. Fans who once defended them began questioning whether they were ever as authentic as they seemed, or if it was all just an act. And as public opinion shifted, Hollywood followed suit.
The words that we heard were they were confused as to why they would be there and involved in this way.
Me Too victim is instead looking a lot more like Amber Heard. How did that work out? Bad move. And honestly, to me, the lesson is A, be a good person. But B, if you're a Hollywood star or any sort of a public figure, would you just please take your licks in the press and shut up
The
about it?
backlash wasn't just limited to social media. Hollywood itself began turning its back on Blake and Ryan. Studios canceled upcoming projects involving both actors. Endorsement deals disappeared overnight. And even their talent agencies reportedly advised others not to work with them.
People have real problems. They don't give two craps that you had a couple of negative articles written about you in the Daily Mail. And in her complaint, the thing she's bitching about is that this terrible PR campaign that was opened up against her hurt sales of her liquor brand and her hair care products. She's got to go do PR for the film. And she goes out this past summer, and she had about 2 minutes of bad PR. The problem for Blake Lively, in my opinion, is that she does not improve upon acquaintance. She was full of giggles and laughter and wanted to promote her liquor brand. Nothing says domestic violence like a bottle of tequila. What?
Ryan's future as Deadpool, a role that defined his career, is now in jeopardy. Meanwhile, Blake lost her lead role in an upcoming HBO drama series due to scheduling conflicts, though many believe it was tied to her growing controversies. Their once flawless careers are now hanging by a thread. But what does this mean for their future?
Normal people at home who don't care about this woman at all are looking at her like, I don't like her. She seems like a bully. She seems like somebody who punches down to somebody who's only trying to do something nice for her.
Words coming in from the celebrities at the Saturday Night Live 50th anniversary asking why Blake Lively and Ryan Reynolds were even
The internet hasn't let up on Blake and Ryan since their scandals broke out, and it doesn't look like it will anytime soon. Memes mocking their downfall circulate daily on Twitter, Instagram, and TikTok. From jokes about their PR strategies to clips of Ryan's failed SNL joke, social media is relentless in its criticism.
Justin Baldoni and Blake Lively, Ryan Reynolds thing, and it's just, this is gold for content creators, because there is this dichotomy that exists between Hollywood celebrities and then content creators and podcasters.
Certainly not the brightest person. And what you just said just doesn't make any sense. It's just so silly to say. It's not a well thought out. It's like if you had an idea for a premise and it was totally baked and half baked and you went on stage with it. Just would know if your wife were up to some nefarious stuff.
Among the dumbest people.
Just when people thought Justin Baldoni was finally the bad guy, Blake Lively proved she will always be the bad guy. Justin Baldoni just released a piece of the puzzle that will destroy Blake Lively, Ryan Reynolds, Colleen Hoover, Taylor Swift, the New York Times. He's killing 5 birds with 1 stone, and they're all getting exposed.
For 2 stars who built their brand on being relatable and funny online, this public roasting is particularly brutal, and there doesn't seem to be an end in sight.